Over the past 2 years, the story of Leon Valley has been a story of government overreach, police misconduct, and abuse of the public. In May 2020, we might just see real change in Leon Valley with a reformed city council and city administration. I'm Justin Pulliam, and I was in Leon Valley on Monday as 2 petitions were delivered to City Hall. The petitions call for a recall election of 2 of the city council members who consistently enable the abusive city administration.
Today we have just filed a recall petitions for councilors Monica Alcacer and Donna Charles, containing over 1,500 signatures from registered voters living within our city. We hope that these petitions send a clear message to our elected leaders, that they are elected to represent and serve we the people.
Both current and former mayors and city council members participated in the petition effort, and the petitions were signed by residents who work in both the private and public sectors, including law enforcement.
Josh Stevens. I'm with the Change Leon Valley project, which I'm actually just a citizen of Leon Valley. I'm a small business owner in Leon Valley. I have a business on Bandera Road, and I have a house in Leon Valley. And there's a large group of us that are just concerned about where Leon Valley is headed in terms of, maybe some overregulation, some police problems, some city manager problems, some city council problems. And there's a couple things that probably need some significant changes. So if anybody's interested, they can go to www.changeleonvalley.com. There's a lot of primary documents, there's some videos, a lot of stuff to look at. And if people want to get involved more, we did have this petition process that we've successfully completed. But the main thing for Leon Valley residents is to go to the polls in May of 2020 and vote.
Be out real soon because I'll ask us to leave. Now, because they'll say it's too many people loaded.
Hi. Good, how are you?
Let me transfer you over. Yes, ma'am. How can I help you? We'd like to see Sandra. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you see?
Is it left over?
Oh
Sure.
my God.
Somebody doesn't like when they ask.
Somebody should have filmed that.
Well, he probably did.
No, I mean, film the office. When we all walked in. All walked in, they all did. Go sit.
Sorry. Is that desk too short over there?
Yeah, I and Sandra's on her way. Miss Joseph, Sandra's on her way out.
This story is supposed to be about the recall effort. Unfortunately, some of the Leon Valley police officers acted inappropriately, creating a scene that interfered with the documentation and reporting of the delivery of the petitions. Upon review of the footage, there's just no way to remove this disruption of official city business. It certainly sabotaged the moment. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and enable all notifications so you won't miss the follow-up story about the police misconduct. There's much more to this story. I normally don't miss the shot, and I apologize to everyone who is relying on comprehensive investigative coverage of this historic event in Leon Valley.
So we have these petitions. So there's one for Donna Charles and one for Monica Alcacer. One's 95 pages, one's 92 pages. I have.
So you're gonna turn your camera off and step outside.
The
No,
other
we're
officer
allowed
said
to.
it was okay.
We're allowed to, Todd.
The supervisor
Who said that?
said.
I don't think so.
The other officer?
Joe already told him?
Yep,
No, the other officer.
as long as we leave the opening.
Can y'all not block the entrance, please?
94 pages.
Go ahead.
So I don't know if you're able to just sign this.
I'd like to be able to hear.
Oh, initial off that I've received it.
Okay, cool. That would be good enough. You want to go over to the table?
Just give me the top sheet.
Oh, you want to initial one?
Yeah, just initial one. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'm not refusing anything. Who said that?
No, I'm asking if you were refusing to sign these.
No, she's signing the top page of the document. Because it's just
It got to the point where I wanted to give me candy for a person or didn't offer.
Okay.
They have already, I had one lady that came in.
cool. And can you sign receipt of the other one too? Just one for Donna and one for Tom. Very good. Well, thank you so much, Chandra. Thank you. All right. You want to rock outside?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
That's really neat.
Why are they taking it personal? I mean, it's not.
It's unusual the way this is really
Could be that.
I can say that.
Good job, man. Texas
Thanks,
Activist of the Year, no doubt. Here, we should still leave a passway so they don't complain. They're gonna be wanting to. Yeah, the side. Yeah, that'd be best.
We don't need them saying anything.
Yeah, did we get that?
Have y'all raised any of these issues at city council meetings? And if so, what happened there?
We've been kicked out at one point. We've
Been called names.
been called, but that was by another citizen. We have been called names by other citizens that are opposed to this. We have not been allowed to, during the hearings, we were not allowed to bring up, we just weren't allowed to be heard.
Limited time for citizens.
Yeah, very limited time. And since that hearing, Monica Alcacer has asked the citizens and city council if she wants to reduce our time, what citizens are allowed to heard. So we used to have 5 minutes down to 3 minutes.
What are you hearing when you were circulating this petition? What were you hearing from people that signed it?
So there's a lot of concerns from people living in the city related to especially over policing. That affects a lot of people, even those that don't have direct involvement in city matters and politics of Leon Valley. So for an example of that is police officers, the city council has enabled police officers to tow vehicles from a private driveway of somebody, even solely for an expired registration sticker. So that's one example of the over policing. The other concerns we hear is that the red light cameras, they were supposed to pay for more officers on the streets and in our city to be patrolling the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But a lot of citizens say they don't see police cars or cruisers as much in their neighborhoods as they used to see. And so they just there's a question of what's actually going on.
But what is the recall for these two particular council people going to do with regards to the policing?
So, the two at the beginning of about half a year ago, one of the councilors, Will Bradshaw, brought up the issue related to the kind of overzealous towing of vehicles from people's personal driveways. And at that time, the city council evaluated the current ordinance that was on the book and compared that with Texas law. And Councilor Bradshaw brought up that there's inconsistencies within that. and after bringing that to the council's attention and saying like we may be towing some vehicles that aren't necessarily junked in relation to Texas laws, the city councilor said it's okay as is. Like if somebody has a problem with it, they can just take it to court. And we just don't think that's the type of attitude that we should have when it comes to an issue that a citizen has within the community. So today we turned in all of the signatures for recall for Donna Charles and Monica Alcacer. These are two of the two copies because they still have the originals. But essentially what we had is a compilation of actually over 1,600 signatures of people living in the city of Leon Valley who signed they are unhappy with these two specific council members, and they want to place them on the ballot in May for recall to see if the people still want them. They've just shown that they don't want to represent the people living here. They've made decisions to censor people, to limit the amount that citizens can say at meetings. They've chosen to take it upon themselves to get rid of another council member and then appoint their friend kind of in Mr. Martinez's spot. And a lot of other things. So they've kind of created this narrative that they're trying to do the right thing and they're making up, some sexual harassment allegations that completely got dropped in the 312. It came down to they outed Benny Martinez because they said he gave orders to city staff, and his orders were something like he had emailed, "We should be more business friendly," in an email, and apparently that's giving an order to these two counselors, and so there's just a different interpretation of things like that.
So the council members who are on the petitions, are they longtime established city council members, or are they new, and how did they get involved in the local city politics?
So one of each, right? So Monica Alcacer, she's been on the city council for a while. This is, I believe, her third term, something like that. I know she's ran also. She's been involved in city politics for quite a while, there's her, and she's kind of, according to people that have been more involved than I have for a longer period of time, I've only been a resident 6 years, but they said that Monica's kind of changed and she's shifted, and I think there's I give you this, you give me that relationship between her and the city manager. So it kind of, Monica gets what she wants. So for an example, the city made a purchase decision of some property by her house that she didn't want to be developed. Some floodplains have gotten adjusted around Monica's land that the city paid for, and in for getting what she wants, she gives, and then she apparently didn't like Mr. Martinez, so Kelly helped her get rid of Mr. Martinez, and then sure enough, Kelly's performance review, what do you know, she gets a humongous raise where she's going to be compensated off the wazoo for a 4-year contract. It's just completely ridiculous. So Monica and Donna are good at wasting taxpayer money, spending our most of their time on senseless and bogus items that are really, they aren't the root issues that people living in the community have problems with, like high water bills. So voters, the question will be phrased as follows: do you want to recall Monica Alcacer? Do you want to recall Donna Charles? And it'll say yes or no. And if you click yes, that means they're going to be removed from their office. And their term normally would extend 1 more year through 2021, May of 2021. Well, if the voters, more than 50%, choose yes, they would like to recall, then it will force them out of office, and then force either an election to take their spots, or the council at that time will appoint somebody to replace their seats, kind of, just depending on how the council wants to go.
The Change Leon Valley effort is one of the most exciting local political movements I've seen in Texas. I hope it will inspire you to get involved in your local politics and reform your local government. After all true change is local.
Next year we will be circulating another petition to repeal the home rule charter, because that's kind of what gives the city manager way too much authority. So that'll start in about February, March, somewhere around then.
I'd like to extend a special thank you to Robert, Teresa, Sly Puma, Dennis Doyle, and Raul for making this report possible. If you'd like to help support independent investigative journalism, please consider making a donation of $10 or $20 using the PayPal or Patreon links in the description below this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the rest of the story.